Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our Konko Mission Wahiawa Facebook Live. I'm Edna Matsuoka. We will now begin our monthly memorial service. Please join us in prayer. Chino Haili. Mediation Prayer, page 2. Mediation Prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Wahiawa Konko Daishin, sincerely and wholeheartedly, each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Kirami Konko Daishin Sama, Kirami Konko Daishin Sama. Kirami Kongo Daijin Sama, Kirami Kongo Daijin Sama. Purification Prayer, page 2. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine friend. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for our shortcomings and grievances from past generations. Guide us in the way of living to reflect the divine will, with a pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Kali Prayer, page 3. Reverently we pray. The goodness of heaven, richness of earth, time flows without cease, yields passes without end. In heaven and earth is the light that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is the truth that orders all. For this wondrous work, for these wondrous works, let us praise and cheer Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe, having loved and cares for all humanity, all those who live in heaven and earth. To revere Kami as a divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many have gone the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer like misfortunes, where is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father Konko Daijin suffered many trials in this world, but had the fortitude and sincerity. Receiving Kami's blessing and the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The divine kind grace to us prevailed. Konko Daijin accepted the the persons of heaven and earth, and in the coming of night. When I pray for those who grieve, seek salvation for all who suffer, and in the coming of day. The years pass and the world changes, fading away from his task, reminds us of mediation. That's what gives us sacred escape, the guiding principle for our daily life. The mind is all that's renewed, and when the throne in the body, establish the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation now, Itigami Konko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way, through our hardships of this world, to the will of your soul. The way of mediation teaches us that one has to come, without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far. The way of mediation teaches us to pray with all the heart. For living unaware of God's favor, we offer our sincere apologies and punishment of ways. Let us live by faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us hear from those who believe and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to thy purpose. Come in His way within us, we are forbidding coming. May this way of mutual fulfillment be granted in this world. May coming wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So in whom we pray, so earnestly we pray.
Personal mediation message, but monthly neuroscience. In the sacred 20th Konko ITG Kainokan, on behalf of the Konko Mission Wahiawa, I ask you young. Relevant to still foreign prayer. Together here today, the monthly neuroscience on this day, May 20th, 2020. The unprecedented circumstances of the prevailing coronavirus pandemic seems to show some positive signs of stabilization, and we are asked to hold this service for the awareness of church members in person. At the same time, also to live stream of this service. With this service, we seek to honor and extend our sincere gratitude for your infinite divine work and pray for the eternal space for the people who have ever included to this church in one way. I think this confirmation Wahiawa, I feel honored to serve this faith community for 43 years, along with my wife Rachel and our children. After succeeding, the late Reverend Harry Potter Harsh founded this church as the Right Church Confirmation Home in 1940. We are told all the blessings through the presence of this church and the virtuous divine mediation. In the accepted Konko grace, we have received the blessings from the time of ancestors and our descendants. We receive blessing for living and even after we pass away. In memory and respect of our deceased ministers, family members, and friends, we pray that the virtue of the Konko in Tenchi Kainokan we live and our fulfilled. And peace. This year we have commemorated the 80th anniversary of operation. Thank you for any elements of blessings that made it possible for us to be able to push the project of this church. It has been possible through divine guidance and support all the people who have been part of this church. And we sincerely ask our divine church to carry Konko and become spirit will continue to support us in pursuit of people's salvation in about the Konko faith. Please let us help each other and guide people who live in suffering through the virtue of Konko and Tenchi kind of time. Let it be known to people that they can attain peace of mind. Konko and unity, practice faith, receive divine blessings by practicing faith. Not only you, also your grandchildren, and even further generations can receive divine blessings. You, the spirit of the understood, be able to rest in peace because you receive divine blessings through your practice of faith. The blessing you have received stay with you forever. Therefore, you should build up a foundation of blessing as possible during your life. We continue to extend our prayers for places of the world that are experiencing hardship due to natural disasters, crime, poverty, famine, violence, and pollution. I pray that the coronavirus pandemic will end as soon as possible and will be able to regain the normal life we take for granted. Dear Divine Parent, Tenchi Kaino Kami, please allow us to do service to you and helping others as utmost external thanks for blessing we be able to enjoy. Please grant the best of this service not only to those who are present, but also to those who will be with us too.
Heidi. Recitation of Tenchi Kakike, page 6. Tenchi Kakike.
Giami Konko Lain Tenchi Kanino Kami Shinni Nai Kagaya Ola Kurani Kongetsu Konshite Kaname.
Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within. Hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray. Giami Konko Lai Tenchi Kami no Kami Shinni Nagai, Wahiawa Kurani Kongetsu Konshite Kaname. Pray sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray. Adoration Prayer, page 7. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer for our earth and deep. Living under such gifts of counterfeit giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of the Konko Daichi does not stop for a single day. The protection of the divine prayer embraces all far and wide. The lessons of Kami flow unending to all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami and honor the power of Kami. Shintoku Sanji, page 29.
おぎまつれんばてんたかくおぎまつれんばてんたかくおろがみますればちわつし神の恵みにかさるるみの幸いぞありがたき我き神の本当に過ぎ人にも隠る時のなく天地の神の御守りときちかきの隔てなし神慈しみはよろずよにあまねくにちて果てしなく感計いはくすしくて人の思いぞよわざる我ら今月今日やび祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん神の慰霊を仰ぎ祭らん
一度入り一度入りNitama Prayer, page 12. Spirits of those who have gone before us, hear the given gift of life in this vast and endless universe. Your discharge of duty faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will remember eternally. Your eyes be told from generation to generation. Honor the foundation of our society and the roots of our family. Through the mysterious workings of kami, you enter the Konko faith. You walk the way of Konko lightning, respecting the will of the divine parent. You amass ignorantly of faith to take you to the world beyond, and live your descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We mirror you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you to stand by us, each and every one. Receive the hero of come, and help us through our paths, and us be hopeful and fading. Protect us, guide us, and teach us. Thou we may go through the way of faith. Thou be handed down to all generations. That we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, and reach us. 軌道経理に変わり始めている。
Yan Dhamma speak, the Prime Minister of Konko Nation Wahiawa, the late Reverend Harko Takahashi, the Reverend Master and Miyastake of Konko Church of Omaki, the Reverend Masayuki Kiki Kola, Reverend Masayuki Yoshino of Konko Vision Kono, the Reverend Hidejo and Toshi Kosaka of Konko Church of Kawanashi, and Itama speak, the people who have ever been guided and connected to Konkomachi Wahiawa and departed in the month of May. 清岡高橋の御霊の神、大地江口の御霊の神、ファーニー古潮の御霊の神、秀代藤本の御霊の神、敏子良吾の御霊の神、広志桂の御霊の神、高井ピアノの御霊の神、エリの大樹の御霊の神、工事宮本の御霊の神 with deepest reverence. We are gathered here today, May 24th, 2020, in observance of monthly lunar service, in a renewed remembrance, honor, appreciation, and praise of those who came before us and became the foundations of this life. On behalf of Konkomachi Wahiawa, Yasuyu Yano, Reverend Stephen pray. Dear Midamaski, each of us has been born into this world to live through the grace of Benchi Kainoka, a divine remembrance. From the time of conception and throughout our lives, we have been able to sustain our life in blessedness, Benchi Kainoka, a divine pure. We will return to the future full upon departing from our physical existence. Upon the Konko line state, those who are living between heaven and earth are blessed through the Kenchi Kainoka. Even after death, we shall always receive the blessings of Kenchi Kainoka. Whether we are living or dead, we must remember that heaven and earth will always be our home. As such, Konko Rai showed us that there is a blessed relationship in life and death. Let's always remember that the blessings are divine to transcend time, space, and space. After the Konko Rai rated the light that the sunshine upon us is a divine blessing. The rain that falls is a divine blessing as well. All humans are allowed to live in the midst of divine blessings. People are born amid divine blessings, live amid divine blessings, and die amid blessings. Every time I speak, we want to acknowledge it. And through the virtual K Konko line and Tenchi Kainokan, as we all every time I speak, that enable us to live in a joyous life. Through divine arrangement, you are being guided to Konko face the diligence and sincerity in the teachings of Konko Daishin to enable you to understand and practice the way Konko through the divine mediation of Konko Daishin. We forever offer our humble respect and sincere thanks to you, Amitabha no Kami, with deepest appreciation. The believers of the church are gathered here today to remember the appreciation of your work and contribution in the past and present. We accept the many offerings before you and sincere prayers of we extend our prayers of thanks for your spiritual work as you help, guide, protect, and comfort us in time of need. We extend our deep appreciation and heart gratitude for enabling us to appreciate the body of this church for the last 8 years. This would not have been possible if it weren't for you. We pray that through the virtue of Itama no Kami, the Konko Feast will be passed on from generation to generation, and true blessings on our feast will be realized by many. Thank you again, and love to you.
度拝礼。Sensanji, page 36.
そうせんです。
よいよのおやわわがいえの神わが神と心尽くしてつきまつらんな心尽くしていつきまつらんなとときみよやの神たちよみんなこのために家の柱を沈めたてたまいはつこのために世のなりわいを守り出すけたまい隠り世の家の境にましませどもみ美しみのみ心は写しよに変わらせたまわずさきみたまのまさきくさきはえたまいくしみたまのくしみにめぐみたまいて心だしはまきのあしらの動きなくなり愛は結ぶつなめのゆるびなくま心清らに励みずとめしめたまいうからやからやわらぎやいてひにけにうらやすく楽しましめたまいついに写しよのことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまいに美しみを葬らしめたまわんものと神の実りの天なるかしこみがたじけな耳をやの恵みのおぼろげならぬおうれしみ喜び申すことをみ心もすずやかにぎこしめしたまえとすあなくしみのみおやのみたまあなくしみのみおやのみたまあなとのみおやの神あなとのみおやの神一度拝礼。
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see all of you today in person. And I know you've been watching us through Facebook Live, so I want to thank you for that and being here in person. How does it feel like to be back in church? The last time we saw you in person was during our 80th anniversary in church. And hopefully, for this whole COVID thing to be happening right after our church anniversary was so unthinkable. Yeah. But I'm glad you're all here today. You all look fine, so I'm happy. And yeah, I didn't know this day was going to come this soon, so I'm really grateful. And today's Hanashi will be done by David Sensei. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about my cat. The reason why I printed this out this morning was because I think she passed away. It's gonna make me cry. Because she was my favorite cat, and Hime-sama came to me back in February 2012, and she was like a juvenile cat. She looked like a homeless cat. Homeless cat. I remember every strand of her fur had like ukus on it. Ukus are like cat lice, and she was infested with fleas, and her hair was all dirty, and she had like worms in her poop and stuff. It was like really gross. And she had like lots of makapiapi on her eyes, you know, like those eye boogers. And just one random day, she just came to the church. And she was right by the driveway, and she came from the neighbor's side, and she just kept meowing at me. And this was after I made a vision board of wanting a cat. So that's pretty interesting, because I envisioned I want a cat that would like me back. Because usually stray cats don't like me back. Like I try to feed them and they just eat it, but after they're pow eating, they just go away, right? But this Hime-sama, she just kept meowing at me, meowing and meowing, and she was so skinny. And then I just felt so sorry for her. And I bathed her. I bought the tick and flea shampoo, and I made her all clean. And then I gave her, I bought her special wet cat food. And I just, spoiled her. And then I remember her stomach becoming so round of overeating. And really, within a month, she became really healthy again. And her fur, it grew really nice and black. And from then on, she pretty much stayed with us at the church. She would go roaming around the neighborhood, but she knew where home was again, and she'd come back here at the nighttime, and she would just sleep like in the by the shoe shelf over there or in the back. And she has been with us for 8 years and 3 months, and that's a long time, because you know, we have a lot of stray cats. We have a lot of stray cats. Too many, I think. People might think I'm the crazy cat lady. But, you know, I know the impermanence of life, and I realize that one day these cats will not be with us anymore. Same for humans, right? So one day, they're not going to be here. So every time I do see Hime-sama or like the other cats, I pet them and I say thank you. Thank you for choosing me to take care of you. And especially Hime-sama, I carry her and I said, thank you for choosing me. I really love you. And I really, really want to thank you for being with me through all these years. And I'd feed her. But recently, really from last year, maybe like in spring last year, I remember we had a garage sale, but I remember her, she looked a little bit sick. She was starting to lose a little bit weight, and she was starting to get kind of like wobbly, not really energetic anymore. And from then, I think things went slowly downhill. And I knew the end was coming near, I can tell. Yeah, she wasn't eating that much. And I felt like lots of goodies, like hard, like almost like rocks in her stomach area. And really recently, she'd been coughing a lot. So I don't know if it was cat COVID. she'd be coughing a lot, and she was drooling so much, and so much so that she couldn't even like lick herself anymore. She was always a really clean cat that would always lick herself very nicely. But like she just couldn't clean herself anymore and just kept drooling and drooling. So interestingly, when her health started to decline, another cat shows up, and that was Miki-chan. So a neighbor brought that cat over, and I was intending to give that cat away, but I got attached to that cat too. And 本当に but I'm really glad that I was able to take care of Hime-sama. And like earlier, how Sensei said in his prayer for the Mitama altar, we are born in blessedness, we live in blessedness, and we die in blessedness. So I also feel the same is true for the Hime-sama and all the pets too that you have. They were born in blessedness, and they were destined to be with you, the owner. You know, it chose you, and they live in blessedness. You know, they live in the blessedness of your care, the love, and then also they die. And you know, life is impermanent; it doesn't last forever. But I also believe that Hime-sama died in blessedness too. And she was really the cat I spoiled the most. Every time we go to Costco, I spend more money on cat food than human food. And she would only eat the wet cat food. She was so spoiled. Hime-sama. Hime-sama means princess in Japanese, and she was the princess of the cat pack. And this cat was really, really kind. She's been through my hard times, the times when I was depressed and sad, when I was sad, and times when I had bad days at work, you know, and I'd come back here, and she'd be waiting at the porch, just waiting for me. I know she was probably waiting for some food, but like she's been waiting for me. So I feed her some cat food and I'd hug her, and then she really takes away the stress from what I had at work. And she would also warm up my slippers. She'd just, you know, sit on my slippers, make it all toasty and warm. But she also had 2 batches of kittens. So she's been a cat mama too. And what I noticed was she's so kind. She was also a milk donor. So when the other auntie cat had her babies, right around the same time she had her babies, she would also feed milk to the kittens from the other cats. So I was like, one time I saw almost like close to like 6 or 7 baby kittens all drinking Hime-sama's milk. And then not all of them were her cats. More than 10 at once? Okay, I don't know how many. Yeah, but yeah, I remember taking a picture of that. And she only listened. She never once scratched me. You know how the other cats, like if you get too close to their tummy, they're like, rah, they scratch or they try to bite you. But his Hime-sama would never do that. She would never, I said to her, wherever I wanted to. And then Hime-sama would never bite or scratch me. And she was always the observer. She'd never be the aggressor. You know, she would watch other cats fighting, but she would never be the cat to pick the fight. So she was always kind. And whenever I had a chance, I would come back over here in the morning, and I'll pick her up and I'll bring her to the Hiromai and pray along with me, and go to Otodoke or carry her and say, "Kyou mo genki." I am also genki today, and I want to thank Kami-sama for all the blessings that Hime-sama has also received, and also me too. So I thank you. And after that, I let her outside. She had been through almost 5 near-death experiences. So for her life to be extended all the way up to this point is a divine blessing. She had been bitten by other cats, attacked, and like big abscesses formed on her leg, and she would get really sick, high temperature, lose weight, didn't eat, and get really weak. And I thought at that time too, this was a few years ago, I thought at that time too, oh, this is probably the end of Hime-sama. But then again, through Kami-sama's okage, she would regain her health again. And that's why I think they call it cats have 9 lives. So this cat has been really through a lot, and she's been such a treasure to me that I'm gonna probably rename that garden that I made outside. Hime Garden. I haven't originally made it the Munchkin Garden, but I'm gonna rename it Hime Garden. And when I was painting it, I started crying. So she was such a sweet. And since last night at work, I was looking at some pictures at work, and I was like, oh no, I better put this away. I'm gonna start crying at work. And after work, I played a little bit Pokemon Go, and I was thinking about Hime-sama. So right before I turned my Pokemon Go on, and guess what happens? This Pokemonster that looks like Hime-sama comes up. So it's a tuxedo cat with a curvy tail, and that's the first monster that pops up. So I was like, that's Hime-sama. Hime-sama appears like this. She shows her sign of her presence, in this more interesting way. So I caught her right away, and I renamed her Hime-sama. So she is forever stuck in my Pokemon game, in my Pokemon archives. So, well, in this way, I give thanks to Kami-sama for allowing me to be Hime-sama's caretaker. And I hope she is her Tama-sama. Even though she's a cat, I do believe she has a spirit, and she is watching over me, still bringing me comfort, and I hope she appears in my dreams. And I will miss her very, very, very much. Thank you. So, for listening.
Morning, everybody. It's good to see you guys in person now. I guess my sister and my mom had asked me to do a speech today, and I have not done one for probably 8 years, maybe more. It feels like I had to think a lot about what to talk about. But since today is Memorial Day, there's this thought that keeps running through my head all the time, and it is about the patients that I have taken care of this year, starting from this year, basically. One of the nurse aides at work said, it's like your death, pretty much. Like everywhere you go, people are dying around you. And it was like, I don't know if she meant that in a bad way or a good way, but the thing that keeps going through my head all the time is there was one patient who I took care of. He was young, probably about the same age. He was the same age as me, basically. He had a child, but I guess he had like cancer of his neck area. And basically the doctors couldn't do anything. All we were trying to do was keep him alive for maybe another week so he can at least meet the daughter from Japan before he dies. So a lot of doctors were saying, oh yeah, he can live for like 2 weeks, no problem, without doing anything. But the moment I took care of him, so after he got out of ICU, so I saw him in ICU, I talked to him in ICU, and then I took care of him the very next day. He went up to the floor. I looked at him, and then the moment I saw him, I was like, hi, and he was fine for that brief moment. And then within myself, I felt something like, this is not going to be good. I just had like a gut feeling. I get the gut feeling a lot recently. And so after that, I saw the patient. The patient was like, I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. He had a trach, so basically a breathing tube coming out from his throat area. And like I said, the doctors tried helping him. The doctor said, you live for a while. They changed his code status. Code status is what you do to save a person's life, basically. You either save the person's life or you let him go and die comfortably. So his code status was changed from helping him fully to helping him die comfortably. For me, that time when he says I couldn't breathe, I couldn't help but not want to help him, like no matter what. I probably went against the doctor's orders to not try to help him. Basically, I tried to help him to breathe and everything. And during that time, I could look in his eyes, and I could really tell he was asking for help. He wasn't ready to go. He wanted to at least see the daughter one more time before dying. And it was during that time that I really felt like helpless. I felt like at that moment I took that guy's life. I tried my best to make him comfortable, give him the morphine, give him his meds to make him comfortable, but in the end he did die. He did die under my care. That image keeps running through my head quite a bit. That was the very first time I actually cried for a patient. Sorry. Sorry, guys. That was the one time I really did feel helpless. You know, like we don't have control of life per se. That we have to live our life fully to give thanks for the life that we have this day. The patient said to me before he got into that situation, thank you for taking care of me. Those are the last words that he said before saying, I cannot breathe. So ever since that day, there's been, I guess, several instances where people have died, like while I was taking care of them. this might not make any sense. I might sound like I'm just like rambling on, but I feel that Kami-sama does. Every life is bestowed by Kami-sama. The soul of Kami-sama is within everybody. Is what I felt at that moment, like when that person died. After that, I took care of a couple other people. One person was a grandma. She says, David, you're going through a lot, yeah? Like out of nowhere, just like randomly. You're going through a lot in life, I can tell. He says, you're a good guy. And it's like, what does that mean? And so I told her that. And it's like, no, I'm not. So it's like, yes, you are. Just give it a couple years, and then everything will be better. So I didn't talk to her about anything in my life. I just took care of her like regular. But then that patient died a couple days after. Like I thought she was gonna be fine. I said, you'll be fine. You're gonna be good. Give it a couple of days, and then a couple of days later, I really do wish I said thank you to that grandma for giving me those words of encouragement. It was during those times that you just never know how life can change. I feel like you should live life without regrets. I try to take care of people. When I take care of people, I try to take care of people so I don't have regrets. I do my best. I try not to complain, even though it's really hard. So life, I feel, is something we should appreciate no matter how hard things may be. There will be hard times. There will be times where things seem like nothing. It's like natural. Like you don't give it a second thought sometimes. Until something happens, you don't give it a second thought about life itself. Even my friend Shannon, he got hurt. Ended up in ICU, and that could have been totally life-changing. That probably was life-changing for him, because you never know what happens. You just never know. I always tell everybody, you never know what's gonna happen. Just try to be happy, be good to others, and give thanks for the life you have today. That's pretty much my sermon. I guess it wasn't much of a sermon, but short. Maybe might be easy to get into your head or your heart or whatever. But like I said, it's just we all have a heart from Kami-sama. We should try to respect everybody to the best of our abilities, even though it might be hard at times, and to just be thankful for life. That is not a given, that you are alive, that we never know when we will go. Thank you very much.
morning. Thank you for joining the service. I'm so glad to hear David's speech for the first time in maybe how many years? 9 years. I thought about 4 or 5 years ago when I went to hospital for my surgery, removing the gallbladder. Before that, I had a pretty critical situation. So right before the grandsons, so I asked David, come over here to help us. He said, no, you go to ER. Then at that moment I thought, oh, he may not come back to our church, even if I will die. So I'm glad for some Kami-sama's arrangement, he came back. It's very strange, interesting Kami-sama's arrangement. I'm glad he didn't forget about Kami-sama, even though he didn't show up for 8 years. Maybe, I'm not sure if they have their own house out there. Maybe not. So I thought, I don't know how the family members practice at the given situation with coming to church for 8 or 9 years. But up to that moment, he has given the opportunity to be trained at the Amagi church and go home. So basically, he got the elements of Konko Buddhism has been deeply embedded. It may be coming about Hawaii, now to Wahiawa church, maybe awaken, reactivate to let the man in the past. So I'm really thankful to Kami-sama for very strange situation. But anyway, I'm so glad. I want to show you, introduce one episode, one teaching from Kyoten Korikai. This is given to Kondo Fujimura. Serving as a tourist mediation the west side of Kano Bridge in Namba, Osaka. I feel much responsibility in serving the hero. I thought a person like me with no virtue cannot continue serving the faith. I must acquire more of Kami-sama's virtue. I decided that I had to go do ascetic training, so I asked Konko-sama for advice. I'd very much like to go to a mountain and undergo ascetic training for some time. What do you think about this? Konko-sama asked. If you go to a mountain, how will you do ascetic training? The mountain, I will first live dumplings made from bird. Then I will live on the nuts and leaves of trees. And towards the end, I will survive only on water. The Konko-sama asked, what kind of mountain will you go to? And go as deep into the mountain as I can to separate myself from the world. In blessed teaching, Konko-sama, that is fine. However, Kondo-san, you need not trouble yourself by going to a mountain. Create a mountain in your heart and do religious training there. Enter the mountain by which you have put in your heart. Then no matter if there are difficulties or unsavory views from your wife, you will not complain. The Kyoten Korikai number 2 to Kondo Fujimura 20. It may sound easy to create mountain and to train, but this can be much difficult situation in doing actual actual train going to mountain. About a week ago, I watched the video presentation of the Buddhist monk undergoing 1,000 days travel and Mount Hill. Very incredible, unimaginable train. 1,000 days walking around. The total miles of the priest walk is about round whole world, whole earth. Yeah. So, and after that, after finishing that training, you have to go to 9 days of fasting. No eating, no drink, no sleep. It's crazy. So they're prepared to die at any moment. So they put on like white garment. They reach, if they fail in the training, they accept their own death. Konko ministers do not this kind of training is difficult training, but they actually do it. And after they become successfully completed training, they are worshipped as ikiboto. So, but training in a way, Konko Fujimura sensei was at the Konko, creating mountain and do hardship and train your heart can be much difficult than actual physical training. So we need to get less into whatever we do. Anyway, thank you very much to this service.
極み金剛大人天地金の神真に願いおかげは心にあり今月今日で極み金剛大人天地金の神真に願いおかげは心にあり今月今日で
残りかいナンバー。Page 226. Number 50. Number 50.
Wait, what page? What?
Page 226.
226.
Number 50.
Number 50.
Are you able to do this? Can I do
Thank you. 226. はい、number 50.
Sorry, hands are shaky.
Number 50. When I went to the Hiramai for the first time, Konko Sama had been giving worshippers Goshinmai. To make Goshinmai, wash the rice 7 times without touching it until the water becomes crystal clear. Dry the washed rice completely, then sprinkle with sacred sake and dry it again, he instructed.
51. Yeah? Families who don't give requests to kami cannot be protected. 52. If someone asks when you will die, you shouldn't answer. Say that you cannot predict the future. Deciding the day to die will not make kami-sama happy. 53. Every New Year's for 3 consecutive years before his passing, Konko-sama imparted, even I cannot live forever. 2. Come to worship often, listen to teachings, and hand them down to others. 54. I don't know was Konko-sama's reply regarding the world beyond death.
55. Without virtue, you will worry. With divine virtue, you will not worry. 56. When people with doubts came to worship, Konko-sama would sharply remark, those who listen with sincerity will receive divine blessings, but those who doubt what they hear will not. Decide
Sorry. Takeda Yojiro. 1. For 3 years until September 1882, I suffered greatly from lung disease. After giving my request to Kami Tsune no Karashi Tsunesu Sensei of Yu village, I received the great divine blessing to instantly cure my disease. My wife and I were discordantly happy. In February of the following year, I went to Konko-sama's Hiramai with Karashi Sensei and received some teachings. Sorry. Receive divine blessings single-heartedly and avoid having a confused heart. Practice faith and you'll have a good life.
Tamura Chuhei. 1. Even if your body is clothed in rags, dress your heart in silk. Honesty is the foundation of faith. Tanabe.
Tanabe Tanigoro.
Good.
In the beginning, my wife practiced faith and received the divine name of Shi-Hyojin. She established a Hiramai but died on June 29, 1873. When I informed Konko-sama, he said, Tami-san, how about if you quit farming, trust Kami-sama completely, and save others? But farming is essential, I answered. You think that if you stop farming, your family will become unable to eat, but how about thinking that you will eat when you have something to eat and not eat when you don't? I still refused, so he said, in that case, you should continue farming for the rest of your life.
Teramasa Yosabe E. In February 1883, I went to Konko-sama's Hiramai for the first time. I went by a boat owned by Hiromoto Rikichi of Yu village. I received teachings directly from Konko-sama. When you are bitten by a viper in the mountains, apply some water from the ground. If there is no water, apply some soil. You will immediately receive divine blessings. Practice faith. At first you will be alone, but later everyone in Japan will be practicing faith. People in other countries will also be practicing faith. I also used to be the only one, but as you can see, there are now many who practice faith. Most of the people who need to be saved lived outside this country.
Toki Shujiro. 1. When I went to the Hiramai one day, I saw many donation place cards on the walls outside. I noted, Konko-sama, it seems that a new Hiramai is going to be built. Kokon-sama said, hanging donation place cards does not please Kami's heart, but those in charge of the construction do these things, too. When I offered some money for the Hiramai construction, he asked, do you want a donation place card to be hanged? No, that won't be necessary. I am offering the money to Kami-sama. Kokon-sama expressed his approval and put my donation in the desk drawer. The next time I went to the Hiramai, I found that all the donation place cards had been taken away.
Tony Naga Katsujudo. When I went to the Hiramai with Karahi Tsunezo sensei, he told Konko-sama, because the sea was rough with strong winds and rain, we got here a little later than I had expected. Konko-sama imparted, you need not come to worship from afar. You can receive divine blessings at home. And added, think of the dust that collects on your altar as the grass which grows on the path to worship. Take care when practicing faith.
Tommy. When I went to hear my Konko-sama said, really come to worship of Bunji. The divine blessings you receive will be as much as how often you come. When I went to hear my many people who did things such as stealing device and trading or cutting skywars and then he said, you need not come from afar to worship. You can stay home and pray even to the outward. Back to the
Get Auntie's book.
はい、おかへん。お願い。おはようございます。Good morning. ただいまから歌を歌います。We are going to sing a song for a song. よろしくお願いいたします。だけでいいの。お父さん。で、57。あ、ごめんなさい。 With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, circling my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try higher. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
やみ本校大日地会の神信じ願い我らはここにあり今月今日で神やみ本校大日地会の神信じ願い我らはここにあり今月今日で神
Thank you very much for watching Facebook Live, our monthly memorial service. Around 11 o'clock, we will have another origami folding session. Today we will be making the origami paper cranes. And each Memorial Day, we go out to the graves at Punch Bowl or Midland Memorial Park, and we offer cranes to the various graves. So maybe if you can fold your own paper crane and dedicate it to the deceased loved ones that you go and visit tomorrow. So if you want to join us, please do so. Thank you again for watching. Have a good week.